Hello everyone, welcome to Study eTech. Single phase half wave controlled rectifier with RLE load. Well, in previous video we discussed with RL load. Now we are taking RLE load. RLE stands for the motor load, where E represents, this is E represents the back EMF of the motor, right? And E depends on the speed of the motor, because we know E equal to K phi omega m. Alright, so as the motor starts, E builds up. So this is the E. Well, here in this graph we have shown this red color is the input voltage, alright, and this green color represents the back EMF E, right? Now in the previous video, always I am referring to the previous video, because if you watch the videos sequentially, it will be better. It is better to understand the whole thing. All right, so in previous video we have shown that whenever the positive upcycle appears, meaning this terminal is positive and this terminal is negative, we see that the anode terminal of the thyristor becomes positive and then cathode terminal of the thyristor becomes negative. But here the scenario is little bit different, because this E, the back EMF's positive voltage, is appearing across this cathode. Here it is E, and here this positive voltage, and that positive voltage is gradually increasing. So the moment, because at omega t equal to 0, this voltage is equal to 0, and right after this omega t, I mean at omega t equal to 0 plus, let me write it here, at omega t equal to 0 plus, it is approaching to E. All right, so the moment it becomes equal to E, Vm sin omega t, that means this point's potential becomes equal to E. That moment voltage across the thyristor is 0. Right after that point, let us say that point is theta. We are showing it here. This point is theta 1. This is a very small one actually, theta 1. All right, right after theta 1, we see that this point's potential is exceeding this E, right? Then on we can say that the thyristor is becoming forward biased. So we can trigger the thyristor only after this theta 1 is overcome. Alright, is this point clear? Well, moving forward, now let us say we are triggering the thyristor at some point here, alpha. Okay, we are giving a short pulse to the thyristor, and thyristor becomes on through this gate terminal. Okay, so at this point alpha, we say till the alpha point is not reached, we can say that the thyristor's current through the load is not increasing, because once the thyristor is forward biased, it will remain in off state, because we know until we trigger the thyristor it will not conduct. So until this alpha point is reached, thyristor will not conduct. Okay, well, and the one more constant here is that you cannot make the alpha less than theta 1. Okay, so we are, alpha is here. Well, so once that alpha is at this point, now say the inductor current will be increasing, because the voltage appearing across the inductor is positive. So from here the current will increase, maybe somewhere it will become maximum, then it will fall. All right, so in the earlier case I showed you that in case of pure resistance, the peak of the current appears at pi by 2, and in case of pure inductance it appears at the point pi, and because of the R and L it will appear somewhere here. But one more thing is here, that there is E. All right, so the voltage across the inductor has to be, I mean input voltage Vm sin omega t is equal to this drop plus E. Okay, so at that point this pi will be, I mean this current will be positive maximum. All right, then the current will decrease and it will fall something like this. So we can say this point is beta, right? So then from this alpha to beta, thyristor will conduct, and once this point to this point thyristor conducts, then the input voltage will appear across the load. So here the input voltage is this one, positive max, and then 0. Then it will conduct, we will get a negative swing because of the inductance in the load side. So we will get a negative swing, so we get this voltage, and at this point thyristor becomes off. Okay, and here in this section thyristor is on, the current is flowing, and here current cannot flow. All right, so we will get a negative swing, something like that. And the same thing will happen here in the next cycle also, and we will get the current to be something like this, and the voltage because this is actually 2 pi plus alpha, and we will get the current waveform something like that. Okay, is this point clear? This is quite similar to the inductive load, resistive inductive load, but somehow we have introduced E here. Well, some mistake we have done. What the mistake? Because from at this point when the thyristor becomes off, all right, the voltage across the load VO is not equal to 0 because the motor is running on. So we will get the E voltage across this because inductor is completely discharged, no current is flowing, so no voltage drop across the resistance, and we will get the E voltage across the load. So we will get the E voltage here. So in case of only if there was not E, so we got the 0 voltage, now we will get some E voltage, and that will be true here also. All right, so this is the point to remember. Okay, now the voltage across the, now the interesting thing, the voltage across the thyristor, we will draw here Vt. Well, from this point on, concept is clear that the thyristor, the zone where thyristor is conducting from alpha to beta, the voltage across the device will be 0. So here it will be 0, there is no doubt. When thyristor is not conducting, some voltage will appear across it, and we will check what voltage is appearing across it. Well, let us say we have to mention this point. All right, start from omega t equal to 0. When omega t equal to 0, we are getting 0 voltage here. All right, and we are getting E voltage here. This is E. So we get the voltage across the thyristor, which is reverse biased, and we are getting a negative E. All right, so we will get a negative E minus E. Then gradually this point's potential is increasing in the positive direction. So the difference between this voltage and this voltage, this is decreasing. So the voltage is decreasing, and at the moment omega t Vm sin omega t equals to E, we get 0 voltage, and that happens, we know, at this point theta 1. All right, so at this point theta 1 we will get a 0 voltage, and right after that point this point's potential is exceeding E, so we will get a positive voltage, but we will get a positive voltage. All right, until we trigger the device, and we are triggering the device at alpha. So from theta 1 to alpha, we will get a positive voltage, something like that. All right, and that voltage is basically Vm sin omega t minus E. Right. Well, I could have explained the whole thing through mathematics, but here in this video I am taking just a graphical approach, and it is better, always better to take the graphical approach. All right, so we will get this one. Now the thing, from this point to this point, so the moment at the beta point is reached, what we can say that the voltage across the thyristor is actually, here the polarity has become reversed. At the point beta the polarity is reversed, so we will get a negative voltage here, and here this is E. All right, so negative minus E, the negative voltage at the anode minus E, so we will get ultimately in the negative side voltage. All right, so and we will get Vm sin omega t minus E, minus Vm sin omega t minus E, and it will be something like that, minus Vm sin omega t minus E, or in some way you can say in the negative side both are sum. The thing is same, and we will get the maximum voltage at the point this negative peak, and it will be minus Vm minus E. All right, then again the same phenomenon will happen until this point is reached. Okay, so this is the theta 1 plus pi, and same phenomenon, what is happening here, the same thing will happen here. So this point has to be clear. Concentrated in the waveform, I have concentrated in the waveform of the voltage across the thyristor, because very much conceptual things are evolving from here. So many logical questions can be framed from here. Okay, so these are the equivalent circuits. So one thing I can say, that the power electronic circuit seems to be complicated, but once you take the equivalent circuit, because the switches are here either on or off, no other state is there. Like the transistor can operate in on, off, the saturation and cutoff, plus the active region. So no active region is used here, only on and off. So once you draw the equivalent circuit, which switches are on, which switches are off, then the remaining thing is nothing but a circuit theory problem. I will appreciate you if you continuously watch the videos and subscribe to our channel. Hope you like the video. Keep watching, keep building up the concepts, and share among your friends. Thank you. See you in the next video.